Buddy, thanks for coming. Let me get screen sharing going because what I have to show you on the first screen. Oh goodness, I am cold tonight.
Okay.
All right, so welcome everybody to our Gardening with Oils class. I'm Lucinda White and I'm joined tonight by Sass Martin, aka, or as I like to call her, Sass, but she goes by Kathy Martin. But either way, Kathy Sass Martin, there you go, new name for her, is here to join us. This is Gardening with Oils. And when we put the event together, we said we're going to have some little Easter eggs. So there's about 16 Easter eggs throughout the presentation. So notice the letters on them, write down those letters, because at the end of the night, if you can unscramble those letters, you will get a prize. So it's like an Easter egg hunt, but they're pretty easy to find. So we're going to continue on. This class tonight is based on the book Essentially Grown by Jackie Tarleton. A lot of good information in it. It's jam-packed. So welcome to the gardener. Whether you're an experienced gardener or just starting out, whether you want to create beautiful landscapes or grow a bounty of fresh, wholesome produce, whether you have a small plot or wish to create a backyard oasis, whether gardening is your hobby, your passion, or your livelihood, this class has something for you. So, standard disclaimer, the information included in this presentation is for educational purposes only. It is not to diagnose, prescribe, treat, or cure any disease or illness that you might get from gardening or your plants. We're just some people sharing our love for oils, which happens to be through the way of gardening tonight. So one of the big main reasons is Young Living's Seed to Seal quality commitment. They start from the seed, they cultivate it, they distill it, they test, they seal. If that seed, starting right from the beginning, if that seed does not meet their standards, it does not get planted. They cultivate it in the purest form. There's soil that they use, and we'll go over that a little bit more in class tonight on soil and weeding. The other thing that Young Living does is they hand weed their farms. And if you're a gardener, you know how much work it is to hand weed your even your little small garden plots. That's why I don't like to garden a whole lot, because I don't like to weed, but there's some great ways to weed naturally and have some things to help you with that. They distill by steam or with water, very pure. They probably test more than any other company. Each batch of oils, when it gets to that oil stage, is tested 3 times. And then before they put that label on it, they test again, and then they seal it. So if you'd like more information, detailed information, you can go to seedtoseal.com and check out more information there. So what are essential oils? They're the lifeblood of a plant, and when these plants are grown in the right conditions, harvested at the correct time, distilled with the utmost care, they can aid in keeping our bodies healthy, well, and happy, which is how our bodies were intended to be. Essential oils are composed of teeny molecules. These molecules are so small, they can pass through our tissues and directly into our cells. So can you imagine how essential oils get into plants when they're so small? If they can get into our cells, they can certainly get into your garden and other things associated with gardening. So, and then our systems are super effective and can transport these molecules all over our bodies within a matter of minutes. So how to use essential oils. And tonight we're not going to be going over internally too much, but if you can think of the plants use them internally. So topically, aromatic, and internally. Topical, when you're using them on your body, is you can rub it with some carrier oil directly on the spot that you need. You can put it in a roller ball and roll it on. However you need to get it onto your skin. It is recommended that if you are first starting out with oils, to go slow. Oils are very, very potent, so all you need is a little bit. Aromatically, you can put it in a diffuser. You can put some drops in your hands, rub them together, cup them over your nose. smell that and inhale it. You can also smell it right out of the bottle. And then internally, just like it says, is you would put that directly into your system. You can put it in water, you can put it in your food, you can put your drops inside a veggie capsule. I like to put grapefruit in my water every morning when I'm going off to work, and it's doing wonders. So why organic? Is your garden a danger zone? You know, herbicides don't just kill weeds. They are toxic to animals. Over 300% increased risk of cancer to dogs living where herbicides are used. They can cause cancer in humans. They can do damage to embryonic, placental, and umbilical cells in vitro. Pesticides just don't kill garden pests. About 1% of our insects in your garden are pests. Only 1% of the bugs that are pests. They disrupt your natural ecosystem. They exterminate pollinators, which are beneficial insects. Health concerns, asthma, fertility issues, Parkinson's disease, leukemia, and autism. Last on this slide, it says, do you know what's in your fertilizers? Inorganic fertilizers contain industrial waste nitrates, lead, arsenic, cadmium, and radioactive components. And they also contaminate your soil and the groundwater. The other thing that's great about Young Living is they will not plant on any soil that has had a chemical fertilizer on it in the past 50 years. So that tells you how potent these things are. So essential oils in the garden, they are useful to chase away harmful garden pests. They can protect your plants against disease. They improve the health and growth of your plants, and they attract beneficial insects. So they can be valuable gardening tools for anybody interested in organic gardening, just like their function within the plant. Essential oils distilled from plants are very effective at chasing away those harmful garden pests, protecting plants against disease, improving the health, and attracting beneficial insects. I want to plant some flowers this summer that will attract butterflies. So Kathy is going to help us out with the next few slides. So take it away, Kathy.
All right, so we are going to talk about some safety tips with gardening. Okay, so we are not really putting essential oils when the temperature is super hot. So supply is in the morning, and then where like we live in Colorado, a lot of times some water tips, the best time to water is also in the morning, at night, and then it gets a little cold. But avoid spraying the if tissues are wet, if the plant is wet, because the oils will not really get onto it. So you could spray the dirt or the soil, roots. Do not apply with sulfur containing pesticides, right? We definitely like to remove toxins, things like that. Avoiding certain plants such as black walnut, Douglas fir, hickory, juniper, cedars, maples, redbud, smoke tree, spruce, right? So some oils you don't want to spray directly on the plants.
Hey, Kathy, do me a favor. Can you shut your video off and see if that helps with your reception? It's coming across. So let's see if that helps tonight.
Okay.
All right. So are you good to go now?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, this is you.
Sorry. Some more tips are don't really spray pets are near, because there's certain oils are safe for pets and good for pets. But some of the oils we use for the gardening, they are not going to like. Also, because we want to deter pests and things like that from our garden. So, but if you have essential oil in the area, the carry oil, not water, such as olive oil, coconut, or almond oil. You want to store oils in a cool place and not put them in light. So if you guys are making, hold on, Daisy, if you guys are making like sprays, don't leave them out in the sun. Make sure you bring them inside and put them in, you know, if you have a greenhouse that has shade and things like that, so. All right, so, some tips for beginners. Pick your plot rate, your size, location, your method. So there's all different types of gardening. You can have garden beds, you pots, you can have a greenhouse, you can things right into the garden, all different things. So let me know in the comments if you're gardening. We just had like a 5-course meal. Please go in the other room. Okay. No, please. I'm working right now. Okay. Lucinda, can you do the next 2 slides? I'm really sorry.
That's all right. All right, so we're gonna, as Kathy was saying, you know, pick your plot carefully. My grandmother used to have a garden that was probably, it was humongous. There's no way I could do grandma's size garden, and I really want to try. And my ultimate goal for gardening this summer is I want to grow a green pepper. So if I grow a green pepper, we're gonna come back live and show you that green pepper. So you want to prepare the soil, and I think that's probably why I'm having trouble with my container gardens, because I am not preparing that soil. You need to have humus in it. You want to have beneficial organisms. You want to make sure your nutrients and your pH level are correct, and you want to fertilize. And of course, you want to fertilize with natural fertilizer. My mom still gets mad at me because I believe I finally got rid of it. But you know, when we get into weed killer, we had that stuff called Roundup, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that so awful for you? So like we were saying, make sure you fertilize that soil. You can compost. I know a lot of people do like their food waste. They compost like eggshells, anything that's not paper, you can put in compost. I've also heard people using coffee grounds, you know, so if you're one of those big coffee lovers in the morning, if you make a pot of coffee, save that used coffee. Even the coffee that's inside your K-cups, you can use to help fertilize your soil and protect those plants. Excuse me. Plant selection. Who would have thought plant selection has to do with gardening? You want to choose your plants suited to your location. I'm from the East Coast, and we used to have a ground cover plant underneath our trees called Pachysandra. I don't think I've seen Pachysandra out here, so maybe that's a plant native to the East Coast. There are a few others that are good out here. When we came out, I have those little, I call them grape hyacinths. They look great when they first bloom, but then they just look like weeds. And I tried to pull them out, and they're like, no, leave them, because they smell really good. So no matter how great, like we're saying, your soil is, you want to get plants that are right for the area. So if you want to take a screenshot of this really quick, and you can get this website, you can go on that website and check out the plants. You also want to seek out certified organic plants, seedlings, and or seeds, just like Young Living does. They get right from the beginning. If that seed doesn't meet their standards, they are not going to plant it. And okay. So proper planting and watering. Most of your plants, I would say 100% of your plants, when you buy them from either a greenhouse or you buy them in a store, they have a little spiky plastic thing that tells you the directions. You want to make sure you follow your plant labels. You want to give them ample space to grow. Some plants will take over the whole flower bed. They'll take over your whole area. You want to group like plants together, and you water properly. Kathy, are you back? I saw you pop in there.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, you can do from here then.
Slide 16, yes. So all right, so weeding, we want to make sure we're weeding because we can actually weeds can grow that can damage. Is this better if I turn my video off, you said?
Yes, yes, that's coming across much better.
Okay, but the reason that we want to get rid of weeds is because they can harbor pests, and they just can you take away from how you really want your garden to look specifically. They can damage your plants, so that's why we want to make sure we take hand weeding is definitely preferred. We don't want to use toxins or anything like that. As Lucinda was talking about, Roundup was pretty bad, and she did talk about seed to seal. So I totally try and match as much as possible. No harsh chemicals, all the things. And using like compost and organic mulch, like if you're really truly looking to go fully organic, you're really looking down to where it's like the whatever you're using, if you're using like the manure you're using, like what the cows are eating, if the cows are eating organic, it really goes that deep if you're wanting to truly garden organically. I don't do that. I can't say completely organically garden because I don't really do the research on what my manure and my cows are eating. I don't care. But yes, so keep that in mind. Some natural weed control. I mean, bugs are definitely a huge part, right? So bugs are can help our gardens and they can also hurt our gardens. But as I mentioned in the last slide, they can attract some pests that we don't want. So that's a big thing why we're gonna weed, but we don't want to use the chemicals. And the healthiest gardens, like you're using mulch and you're using the hand pulling methods, right? So not your sorry guys, I'm losing my train of thought here. My kids are really quiet. It's making me nervous. But
They're weeding, let them go.
no. You guys were terrible a second ago. But no chemicals, all the things. So but you can even use different essential oils to weed. We'll go over that as well. All right, so here's a natural weed killer recipe. And in a spray bottle, you want to put some distilled white vinegar, Castile soap, some wintergreen cloves, cinnamon, orange, and with some water, shake it well. So you want to make sure you're using distilled or filtered water if you're making a spray that's going to sit.
And also, even though this is going outside, it is highly recommended that the spray bottle be glass, because if you put the oils in plastic, the oils can leach out the toxins that might be in that plastic. So definitely, if you can trust yourself with glass outside, that's definitely the best.
Yes. All right. Protecting plants from pests, right? So we were talking about how weeds can bring in bugs or they can just come on in. There's a lot with gardening with trying to protect from bugs and things like that. So there's a lot of beneficial things as well. Beneficial pests are actually things like toads, frogs, lizards, birds, bats, spiders, and ladybugs. Those will actually control pests and diseases without the use of any chemicals. So there's another natural one. You can plant different things that attract those. I mean, there's not really a lot of toads, frogs, and lizards where I live. I don't really think we need to attract birds. I'm not down for attracting bugs, bats, and spiders, but I'm totally down for attracting ladybugs. So it is what it is. Okay, go throw that out now. I don't know.
I've heard that people actually purchase ladybugs and have them sent, and they helped with rose plants because they eat. I believe I was told somewhere that the ladybugs eat the aphids off of the leaves on rose bushes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do purchase them.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Pam.
You're welcome.
Consider companion planting, which are kind of plants that like to go next to each other. That will definitely help get rid of pests and things like that. Use natural pesticides like we talked about. Using essential oils and things like that. Maintain a clean garden, right? So if you're using tools and stuff, always like clean them up afterwards. Keep the weeding up to date, things like that. All right, so methods of organic pest control with essential oils. There's essential oil sprays. And we talked about putting them in a glass bottle, distilling them with water. There's different recipes like that, keeping them in a cool, dry place. You can use cotton balls. You can put cotton balls, oils in cotton balls around the garden, or you can put them like in plastic bottles, cut a bunch of holes in them. You can put them in plastic like bottles, and you can leave them in your garden. You can hang strips of cloth that have essential oils on them, or you can just like dip string in them. So all different things that you can do on how to use the oils without putting them on the plant or anything. I've sprayed like around the garden as well. Common pests are ants, aphids, caterpillars, mosquitoes, slugs, snails, squash bugs, and white flies. And these are some of the things that we definitely do not want. Here's a quick reference chart. Just talks about what essential oils can help get rid of certain pests and things like that. I mean, there's a lot of different apps now that you can like take a picture of your plant if you don't know what's wrong with it. And it can say, like, oh, maybe aphids or beetles or slugs are getting this. I mean, I feel like slugs are not fast enough. You would probably see if it was a slug, but then you can come to this chart and you can see what essential oils that you can start using in your garden to deter those pests.
I'm really excited now that I'm involved with Young Living for the ants, because every once in a while, every summer, it seems like we get sometimes the real teeny ants, but now that I have peppermint oil, so don't go sending me ants and sneaking them in my house, but I really want to try the peppermint oil to deter those ants from coming in.
I've done it before. I've sprayed peppermint and clove I've put in there, and I've sprayed it like around my deck where they would come in at
Cool.
40 minutes. This is an insect repellent recipe. Ooh, I see 2 things on here. In a spray bottle, you want to use rosemary, peppermint, thyme, clove, fill with water, shake well. This is a repellent, not a killer. So, keep in mind, you can do like a little, like test if you see like a bunch of ants or something, drop some peppermint oil or something around there, and like, they'll just go away from it. They'll just run away from it.
Maybe I'll try that outside when y'all drop a piece of food out there, have the ants come and then drop peppermint on it and see if that.
Right. And then they'll just start. Okay, we don't need it every day. Go get one of these little brownies.
No.
Yes. All right. Common diseases in plants. Fungus is definitely one. There's mold and mildew is actually responsible for about 85% of all plant diseases. Fungus spores are like heat, and cold resistant. And if it's fungus, this can actually be kind of difficult to treat. Many essential oils that create remedies, but they prefer warm, moist conditions. So just keeping that in mind. If you don't want things plants like sunlight, yeah, but they also don't want. Plants also like to be comfortable. If you think about that, they want to be comfortable. They don't want to be like sweating or too hot or too cold or anything like that. Sure. So fighting this one's mine. Go eat those. Common disease in plants. There are different things. So the early blight affects vegetables and fruit trees, plants under stress due to extreme weather and proper nutrition. The late blight usually affects things like tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, include water soaked spots on the top of trees, fuzzy growth. I remember we had like I used to have a big greenhouse in my old house, and we didn't pick the tomatoes. It got like super cold, and then we had all these green tomatoes, and they just froze. It was so hard. They had all these like terrible spots on the outside. And if we just picked them, like if you know anything about tomatoes, if you pick them green, you can just keep them, put them in a paper bag, and they'll get right. But powdery mildew, the state of Colorado actually has a big problem with this in indoor growing and things like that. But powdery mildew affects a wide range of plants. But it basically just kind of looks like the powdery white stuff on a plant. I'm sure you've seen it, or you've seen pictures or anything like that. So club root affects vegetables, mainly in the cabbage family. So it will turn your leaves yellow and kind of droopy. So things that are really like kind of growing. Sorry, I want to say growing from a root, but really cabbage, they have a really kind of strong root, the cabbage family, and they grow up top. So cabbage, Brussels sprouts, things like that. Gray mold affects many plant species. This most notable are grapes and strawberries. And it spreads super fast, especially during damp and cold weather. So definitely want to watch out for those things. Fighting common disease in plants, fungus. Here's the general fungi treatment with tea tree, citronella, rosemary, peppermint or thieves, quart of water, baking soda, and some dishwashing liquid or Castile soap. A quart of water, add 8 to 10 drops of essential oils, baking soda, dishwashing liquid. All right, bring them to me. Shake through thoroughly. You ate both of them and you didn't like it. Okay, great. Clearly shake thoroughly before applying to affected plants. Like, mommy, I didn't like it. Well, bring them to me. I ate them both. Apply once or twice a week as needed. So just remember, you don't need to do these all the time. Just things like once a week, every couple of days, things like that. All right. Fighting common disease in plants, like bacteria. You see how the plants, they literally just look sad, like they're just wilting. So the other things that you definitely want to keep looking at, this is mostly common in the bacterial wilts. They're green spots, but the bacteria is commonly found in the gut of cucumber beetles. So there's something in these beetles that when they go around your garden, they affect your plants like this. It's very weird.
And you know what, Kathy, I think most people, if they saw this, they would think that the plants need more water. So maybe that's not
Right.
true. They were having a fungus on it. So,
right. And sometimes plants will wilt if they have too much water. You can definitely have too much water. Always touch your soil.
I want.
Hey, oh yeah.
I'll go eat it first.
Great. Go touch your soil. If your soil's damp, then it's probably fine. If your soil's super dry, then definitely give it some water. But this is some treatment for that. Purification, rosemary, oregano, thyme, tea tree, and some water. Cool.
and there's 2 more Easter eggs if you guys are keeping track of those letters.
All right, companion gardening with essential oils. So why are we companion gardening with oils? Going to assist the growth of the plant, so help it grow more, attract those beneficial insects like the ladybugs we talked about. It's going to repel pests like the beetles we talked about. Provide nutrients, right? Because we want nutrients, especially if it's fruits or vegetables. Conserve some space. So you want to also be conscious about how you're spacing out your garden. You're not going to put 5,000 seeds in one little thing. I mean, nothing's going to grow, or it's all going to grow too much, and you're just going to waste your seeds and things like that. You want to make sure you take up all the space that you can use as well. Reduce this time and effort because you're not worrying about, oh my gosh, what's happening this, what's happening in this. You're basically, when you're using your essential oils, just like our bodies, you're protecting their immune systems, right? So you're not going to have to worry about those things. Like our bodies, we don't have to worry about, and the doctors and as much in those things, all those things. So think about that as your plant as well. And improves the health and yield of your plants as well. Here is a basic companion solution, 6 to 8 drops of oil, combined oils, and water, and apply solution liberally to plants surrounding soil. So just something you can kind of put around. Any of like the recipes we had talked about, think about what you might want your oils to help with in the garden. And essential oils and plants they benefit. And here is a chart for that. So if you are planting eggplants, you want to maybe put some peppermint, spearmint, and thyme in a spray bottle. And then, but if you're also planting asparagus next to that, you may want to put some asparagus, some basil in that. So you may want to also look at, well, I really just want to use certain oils in my garden. I really just want to use basil in my garden. So, okay, then I'm going to plant asparagus, beans, broccoli,
Okra.
okra. There you go. I did okra one year. Yeah. So all those things, potatoes. Yep.
There you go.
Attracting natural pollinators. I'm gonna have to go after this slide.
Okay.
Bees, butterflies, and other beneficial insects. You can spray different essential oils in and around. You can even put up little make like little cork diffusers or fun little things. Oh, that would be a really fun little craft to do. Make like garden diffusers. To attract these insects.
Kathy, I think you just set yourself up for something to do with your daycare kids this summer.
Oh my gosh. All right. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you for helping.
All right. Bye.
All right, so like we were talking about your pollinators, favorite blends. Kathy had another engagement that she had to be to, so but we are still here and we will finish this class for you. So pollinators favorite blend, lavender, rosemary, and orange. You would put this on cotton balls or the string or the cloth strips. I can just imagine how wonderful my grandma's garden would have been, because I remember seeing cloth strips in her garden, but I'm sure she didn't have oils on them. She used to use them to tie up her corn stalks and her pepper plants and her tomato plants. She would just rip up that old apron and use those that fabric to take care of that. So gardening as therapy. So nature has long been, I'm just going to read from my notes so I don't skip any of this good information. So, nature has long been known for its relaxing qualities as a place for humans to find tranquility and healing. Gardening in particular is associated with mental clarity, and Young Living does have an oil called Clarity, and feelings of reward, as it has many physical benefits as well. Fruit and vegetable gardening can be particularly gratifying and provide an excellent source of healthy, fresh produce. In addition to these benefits, gardening is great exercise for the body as well as the mind. Gardening has also emerged as a scientifically proven stress reliever. I don't know about how much on that, because I kind of get stressed out, like you heard me saying about pulling those weeds out, but now that we have all these tools, it might not be so bad. Stress wreaks havoc on the body and can cause irritability, headaches, stomach aches, heart attacks, and other health issues. So more we can do to relieve stress, more power to us. So preventing gardening mishaps. You wouldn't think you'd want to stretch before you go out in the garden, but it makes sense. You want to stretch. You also want to make sure you are protecting yourself. Wear gloves, hat, and long sleeve shirt. I learned this the hard way because I have some rose bushes still out in my front. It's like, oh, I'm just going to go in and trim the branches that have come up, and I don't have a long sleeve shirt on. I regret it when I come back in the house because I'm scratched to no end. You want to apply sunscreen. You want to wear safety glasses and earplugs, especially if you are using any type of maybe a power tool to do trimming with. You want to protect your knees and back. You know, use a garden mat. If you don't have one of those, you know, take a towel, roll it up, pad your knees, or maybe even get some knee pads to wear. Know your limitations. You want to stay hydrated, which means drink plenty of water. You don't want to say take your Coke out to the garden with you. Maybe you can sit after you get your work done and have your drink that way. You want to create a garden and first aid kit. So maybe this would be something that you can keep with you if your garden happens to be away from your house. I know my sister who lives in upstate New York, her garden is probably, I want to say a good maybe 50 yards away from their house. So there's a ways to get up to the garden. So she might want to have something like that. And then you want to keep your hand, you know, wash your hands thoroughly after gardening. And you want to keep your garden tidy, like Kathy was saying before, you know, make sure you keep your tools clean. Keep your weeds pulled, stay up on it. So when you do have that extra time, it's not going to overwhelm you. So like we were saying, there's also some common gardeners ailments, things that bite. You know, you might have bees, wasp, and hornet stings out there, chigger and tick bites, spider bites, other minor bites and stings. I cannot stand being bit by a bug or stung by a bug. So these are just a few recipes to try. These are not guaranteed. They're nowhere near meant to diagnose, but you can take a screenshot of this. And here's 2 more letters to add to your list of letters if you're keeping track of them. So I remember, and I'm sure Pam and Molly, you can probably attest to this, whenever we'd get like a bug bite or a sting, my grandmother would take baking soda and make a paste out of baking soda and put it on. And we're like, Grandma, that hurts. It's like, ew, but you know what? It worked, you know? And so maybe if Grandma had some essential oil in it, it wouldn't have been so bad. So there's other gardening accidents that might happen. You might get bruised. So essential oils to help with that: helichrysum, geranium, lavender, lemongrass, deep relief. I love deep relief, and I just got a brand new one with my points I saved up. So I'm excited. I spent my points on something that's needed. You might get burns and blisters. So you know, definitely watch your time in the sun. If you're getting too hot, you know, step in the shade. Cuts and scrapes. Take care of those firsthand. You know, you can put lavender on it, make sure you clean it up first, but maybe if you can't get to the sink right away to clean up, maybe keep that thieves spray handy and, you know, your lavender and cooling mist until you can get in and get out of the shade. So here's some more. There's some general itching oils: poison oak, poison ivy, poison sumac, essential oils for those. And they would say, you know, apply 1 to 4 drops, and you can put it on neat, which means not diluted or diluted with a carrier oil. And you want to put that on 1 to 3 times a day. So it goes with the territory. You might get chapped, cracked, or dried skin when you're out in the sun. Hay fever, allergies, muscle soreness. I can attest to probably all of those. So here's just some treatments for those other things. You know, feel free to take a screenshot of this. And I believe these are the last 2 letters, possibly the last 2 letters on our slideshow here, but nope, I stand corrected. There is, I believe, 1 or 2 more. So I hope you're writing them down and try to unscramble them. So here's some other helpful tips. If you get overheated, try putting a couple drops of peppermint on the back of your neck. It brings cooling relief to you. Add tea tree oil to water to clean your garden tools. There you go. You can even clean your gardening tools with essential oils. Prolong the life of your cut flowers by adding a drop of purification to the water in your vase. Oh my gosh, I just thought of a good thing. What if we got the florist to carry purification oil from us to send out with all of their flowers? I wonder if they would go for that. I'll have to check that out, Pam and Molly. So we've just done all the gardening and we want to harvest it now. We want to reap the rewards of gardening all this healthy food, and we want to be consistent with our harvesting. So if something's ripe, like Kathy was saying, pick your produce, dig up your potatoes, pull up your carrots, get them taken care of to where you can get them inside, washed, canned. So they don't go to waste. And you might be saying, okay, how am I going to wash all this? Well, guess what? You can use Thieves Fruit and Veggie Wash. I just got some of this. It smells wonderful. And even with like lettuce that said it was already washed and ready to eat, there was still some stuff that came off of it. The stuff that comes off celery, even your organic fruit and vegetables still has some stuff on them. So you definitely want to use the Thieves. I believe this is now the last letter. So we'll give you a shot to tell us what you think it is at the end. So if you want more information from this class, you can look up this book, Essentially Grown Natural Gardening with Essential Oils. And they also have other recipe books. So if you wanted to buy some of these things, the only starter kit on here or starter bundle that does have the fruit and veggie wash is the Thieves Home Bundle. These starter bundles are Young Living's way of helping you save money and get you started. As you can see, there's a variety of bundles. These bundles are priced 40% to 50% below retail if you were to buy each item separately. So if you're ready to start, you can see the screen here, head over to Young Living, fill your cart. There's 3 ways to shop: good, better, best. Obviously, we would like you to do the best way, which is enroll in loyalty rewards. You get a discount of 24% for 1 year. And that does not have to be consistently ordering, but you want to order consistently because you do add up on points. Check out, add the referral ID. And then when you're there, you could always think about the benefits of becoming a brand partner. Young Living does give you freebies each month based on how much you purchase. This month, the retail value of all these products is over $170. I bring the tea with me to school now in my school bag. Golden turmeric is on my monthly order, and I do not have to order it this month because I got it for free. So gotta love these freebies. So if you like any of these, you can try to order before the end of the week because these will go away at the end of the month, which is Friday. Here are some benefits of becoming a brand partner. This used to be paper copies. It's now digital for $14.95. Wonderful ways to earn stuff. These are some more benefits for loyalty rewards versus a cart order. As you can see with the loyalty rewards, you do earn points back based on the PV value. PV means point value. When you get those points, you might be thinking, okay, what am I going to spend these points on? Young Living has you taken care of too. Just look for this little blue flag in the catalog next to any item. If the blue flag is there, that means you can use your points to purchase it and redeem them. You do get a free diffuser once you place your second loyalty reward order of 50 PV or more. The thing about this is these orders do not have to be consecutive. So if you order the first month and then you're like, oh, I don't want to order for 3 months, you place that second order of 50 PV or more, you will automatically get a diffuser. I tried this with my daughter's order. I placed 2 orders back to back just to see if it would come, and it comes automatically in your order. You don't even have to click on anything to say you want it. It comes. Young Living has fantastic shipping. If you've never ordered from Young Living before, if you order by the end of the month, you will get free shipping. These rates are going to be going up starting next month. I believe they're going up $2 per category, but still $9.99 for a 150-pound package. You can't beat it because I can pay $10 for a small 2 to 3 pound package. So wonderful deal with shipping. Here is our upcoming class schedule for April. We will not have a class next Monday. We're going to take a little mini vacation day. As you can see, our other classes, Bros and EOs, oils are not just for women. We Are Women, Hear Us War is our next one. That's going to be personal testimony. So if you do have a personal testimony about oils or your success with it, let us know and we'll put you in on that one. We're going to finish out the month with ABCs of Essential Oils. This is geared towards kid helping us read. So if you have a grandchild, a kid of your own that you want to help them join and help us read. The other thing is we are going to be going to a different time. They're still going to be on Monday, but now we are going to start a little bit earlier at 7. That way Kathy's previous commitment, she can stay with us for the whole class. And it makes it a little bit easier for those people that are on the East Coast so they can see it. Thank you, Pam, for those handshakes. I saw that. So we just wanted to let you know of our new time. Here is our make and take that we are going to be having on Saturday. I'm so excited. And this is why we had those little eggs throughout the class tonight to lead up to this. April Fool's Day. So there are going to be a couple of tricky things. I have a new post that's going to come up tomorrow. So once you see that post, just keep in mind that it's April Fool's Day. So it might be believable, it might
Great.
not be believable. And since Kathy's not here, this one's geared towards her, but you'll understand when you see it. So if you are planning to come, make sure you RSVP by contacting me or responding as going to the event. This is something new that we just put together the other day. This is, even though it's 2 months away, but if you like to do make and takes and have a special day, this is called Save the Date. It's Saturday, May 13th. This is the Saturday before Mother's Day. It's going to be a ladies spa day make and take. This is going to be at Kathy's. We're in Bailey, 3 to 7. Ladies come and be pampered. Dinner will be served. And even though it's not on here, there will be some adult beverages. So watch for more details to follow. So are there any questions? Okay,
No.
we are going to stop sharing. So if you ladies were writing down all the letters, let me know what you think all those letters unscrambled to be.
Organic gardening.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Molly, did you get the same thing? Miss Pam, I will make sure and get you a gift that will help with your gardening. I believe we sent you some oils last year. So if any of the recipes that you don't have, or if you'd like some more, just send me a message and let me know which one you'd like, and we'll make sure we get you those oils. So if there are not any more questions, I am going to go ahead and end the call, and hopefully we'll see you Saturday. But remember, no class next week, but it'll be our next Zoom class will be on April 10th. So thanks for coming. Bye.
See you Saturday.